Got your brain working? Okay, let's warm up first. Look at this picture carefully and try to figure out what's wrong with it. Uh-oh, there's a parrot in the fish tank. Now look at these beautiful young ladies. They all seem pretty well off, but one of them is truly rich. Can you figure out which one it is? It's the girl on the left. She has a Ferrari, which means she's loaded. An ice cream seller has two types of ice cream, chocolate and vanilla. The chocolate ice cream costs $2 for a scoop, while the vanilla ice cream is $1. Each customer is allowed to have only one scoop. Mary gives the seller $2. The man immediately gives her a scoop of the chocolate treat. But when Ben comes up to the seller and gives him $2, the man asks him what ice cream he wants. Why? Mary gave the seller two $1 bills, so it was obvious what she wanted. But Ben gave the seller just one $2 bill, so the man had to clarify which ice cream the guy wanted. One day, Leo's friends asked him whether he had any siblings. The man answered that he had a brother. When he was 6 years old, his brother was half his age. And then Leo decided to see how smart his friends were. They needed to figure out how old his brother was now that Leo himself was 40. Do you know the answer? It's actually quite simple. When Leo was 6, his brother was half his age, meaning he was 3. In other words, the age difference between them is 3 years. So if Leo is 40 now, his brother is 40 minus 3 equals 37 years old. 3 athletes are lined up at the starting line of a canoeing competition. Can you figure out which of these athletes is going to come first? The third athlete is going to arrive first. He is the most prepared of them all. The other two are just amateurs. The first one has the oar turned upside down, and the second isn't wearing a cap or glasses. During a physical education class, students lined up to form 2 volleyball teams. That's when Miguel noticed something curious. He was both the 6th from the left and the 6th from the right of the line. Based on this information, can you figure out how many students are in the line? If Miguel is the 6th from each side, there must be 5 students to his left and 5 to his right. So we get 5 students on the left plus Miguel plus 5 people on the right equals 11 students in total. 3 women are in the fitting rooms of a maternity clothing store. They all claim to be pregnant and are trying on loose, comfortable dresses. However, one of them is lying. Considering that only their feet are visible beneath the fitting room curtains, can you figure out which of them isn't pregnant? The woman in the third fitting room is not pregnant. Pregnant women typically avoid wearing high heels for comfort and safety reasons, so her shoes likely mean she is just faking it. These 5 bags of gold look identical. Each of them has 10 gold pieces, but one of the 5 bags contains fake gold. The real gold and fake gold are identical in every way, except the weight. Each piece of fake gold weighs 1.1 ounce, while a piece of real gold weighs 1 ounce. You have a perfectly accurate digital scale, but you can use it only once. How can you determine which bag has the fake gold? You should take 1 gold piece from the first bag, 2 from the second bag, 3 from the third bag, 4 from the fourth bag, and 5 from the fifth bag. If the number on the scale ends in 0.1, you'll know that the first bag contains the fake gold. If the number ends in .2, then the fake gold is in the second bag, and so on. Ooh, that's smart! Marshall, Ted, Barney, and Robin were in Robin's house. Suddenly, the lights went out, and one of the boys kissed Robin. Robin asked them who it was. Marshall said Ted had done it. Ted said Marshall was lying, and Barney said he hadn't done it. Just one of the guys told the truth. Can you figure out who kissed the girl? Barney kissed Robin, and Ted is the only person who is telling the truth. If Marshall's statement was true, then the last statement would be true too, which is against the rules. If Barney's statement was true, then one of the other two statements would be true as well. So it means Ted is the only person telling the truth. But I think the bigger question is, did Robin kiss him back? But I digress. Lisa was preparing for an extremely difficult exam for a week, surviving on a few hours of sleep and large amounts of caffeine. After passing her exam successfully, she fell asleep and slept for a really long time. When she eventually woke up, she couldn't figure out what time it was – 7 a.m., 3 p.m., or 11 p.m. Please help the girl understand what time of day it was. The street lights are still on, but it's not very dark outside, so it must be 11 p.m. Julia asked her boyfriend Kyle to go to the supermarket to buy some groceries and gave him a shopping list. When Kyle arrived at the store, he looked at the list and got pretty confused. What is this last item Kyle needs to buy? Eggs. He needs to buy eggs. Kevin wasn't doing particularly well. He lost his job and was trying to find a new one unsuccessfully. Look at the guy's room and try to figure out how many job interviews he has already attended. Look, there are 6 Post-it notes on the calendar. It means he has already been to 6 interviews. Anyway, good luck, Kevin! 3 brothers lived on a farm. One day they decided to buy new seeds, and 2 of them, Mark and Tom, headed for the market, while Ben stayed behind to look after the fields. Mark bought 75 sacks of wheat seeds, and Tom bought 45. When they returned home, they divided the sacks equally. Ben paid $1,400. How much money do Mark and Tom get from this sum? We know each farmer got 1/3 of 120 sacks, which is 40 sacks. If Ben paid $1,400 for his 40 sack, then the price of 1 sack is $1,400 divided by 40, or $35 for a sack. That's why Tom gets $175 and Mark gets $1,225. Mike was going home carrying $300. A man stopped him and offered him a chance to double the money. Mike just had to roll a die and have 4 or more, or roll 2 dice and get 5 or 6 on at least one of the dice, or roll 3 dice and get 6 on at least one of them. If not, the man would take his money. What is the best strategy to keep the money? The young man should just decline the offer. This way, he'll have a 100% chance to keep his money. If he decides to agree to the bet with 1 die, he has a 50% chance of winning. If he decides to agree to the bet with 2 dice, there's a 56% chance that he will win. And if he agrees to the 3 dice bet, his chances of winning are 42%. And finally, can you figure out what is next in this sequence of numbers? It's going to be this long number. You see, each next number is a verbal representation of the number before it. This way, if we start with 1, The next number in the sequence will be 1, 1. And the next is 2 ones. Then we've got 1, 2, 1, 1, and so on. Yeah, that's weird. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.